Welcome to an episode of Into the Lab podcast, where sports analysts and experts dissect the latest news from the NBA and NFL, giving you a unique view on some of the hottest topics around your favorite teams. From the fresh field smells of the NFL to the hardwood courts of the NBA, and possibly your comfy couch for your fantasy football team. Let's see what kind of news the lab is working with today. Here's your host from the Sports Analytics headquarters in San Antonio, Texas, Ernest Silva.
Back-to-back weeks, you gotta love it. I am excited to be back tonight. I'm your host, Ernest Docky Silva, here in the house in the NFL divisional round and some Pokemon magic. I've got my co-host, Chris Borak, in the house. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good to be back. Last 8 teams in the NFL playoffs. Let's go.
Borak, did you have a good holiday?
I did. How about you guys?
I had a great holiday. A lot of good news. We had a lot of luck. Pokemon ripping. We had a lot of luck with our teams. Texans still rolling. Luke, how was your holiday?
Oh, it was good. Real good. Just trying to stay warm right now. I go by the fantasy football winning ITL champion, Just Luke.
Oh, we should get that updated. We also are probably going to declare season 6 winner early. Early projections for Chris Borak, so we'll change his title as well. Nobody catching that fool. And last but definitely not least, Chris Connor. Still here, still hanging around. What's up, Chris?
Not much. Have a bunch of interviews we did. They'll be airing on the Last Call podcast, getting ready for this weekend's games. And I'm trying to figure out, Ernest, I want your opinion here. So where is Aaron Glenn going to go? Because you're tapped into the league. So where does he end up?
I'd rather him right now over Deion Sanders, but I can't be a chooser right now because Jerry Jones is running the ship. So we just gotta hope he ends up somewhere decent. Chicago would be nice.
Put this out there. Mike Tomlin to the Cowboys for a second-round pick.
I mean, why would Pittsburgh do that?
Start out fresh. Get young offensive tight pants coach mind in there.
That's a Luke question.
The Rooneys would never do it. The Rooneys will never do it. Is what it is.
Hashtag what's in your DNA. That's the slogan for our season. If you haven't been a part of the show, we are not only covering NFL, but we are doing live Pokemon Expos now too. We're doing a live Collectors Expo in February. Maybe we have some of the sports scientists in town. We're still trying to persuade a bunch of them to come in, but we would be excited to have it. Mark will be in town for the expo, so that's exciting. So you get to view all of us. And if you don't know what we do at these expos, round number 1 today is our King of the Hill edition. So we're going to rip a couple of packs. Hopefully we have some hits to add to the hill, and that's just going to be what you win along with the coveted Moonbreon. That is what everybody wants. We gave one away in December, now worth over $3,000, which is wild, you Pokemon fans. Wild. And so as we did last week, Luke got to witness, we did rip a live stream, a Silver Tempest pack, and we got to add a Lugia alt art to the hill. The ITL hill is currently being constructed. We have a live hill this time. Chris Borak is going to be out there. It's a big model. It's going to have card slots. It looks really cool. So I'm excited to show that off. But tonight we're going to start off with a Battle Styles pack. We're hoping to hit something big on the first pack. And if you don't know the rules of King of the Hill, basically you add up the HP on those cards, and your score would be the total of that HP for those cards. So I'll do just a small demonstration of it. I'm not going to do a full demo of it. And we're going to process for the front here. Start off with that energy just to show what it actually does, right? The top of these cards have an HP energy to it, right? And you can see it, that's 100 points. And we process through those. So we're going to go through this and get through the basics on this set. The reverse is a reverse Bruno trainer, and the Luke. The hit is a Tapu Koko VMAX Rainbow Rare.
All right.
The Hill,
All
first
right.
pack Magic again on ITL.
right.
Tapu Koko VMAX Rainbow Shiny Rare. That is going to be not shiny, but just rare. That is beautiful. That is a beautiful card. Very hard to see it, but I really love it. That's going to go on the hill. You should see it come out San Antonio, Texas, February 22nd, 23rd. Live at the SA Collectors Expo at Shrine Auditorium. We're on a heater. The blood keeps going. We thought it was just holiday magic. At this point, it's just magic, and it's been fun. Come check it out today. If you're here for the Pokemon part, you're probably gonna dip. But let's talk some NFL divisional round in the playoffs. Chris Borak, our season 6 champion projected, is gonna go last in all of the picks today by his request. So we're gonna let him have the base today. Powered by USAA. They know what it means to serve. All right, let's get it going. We are going to start off with ITL's game of the week. The game of the week is going to be probably the first game. So just turn it on, check it out, and we all know where we're going with this intro. Shout out to It's Rated Merc or Mark for the awesome videos. Let's cue it. There we go. Texans and the Chiefs. Chiefs 8-point favorites. That's a live spread. 8-point favorites against the Houston Texans. Just Luke. Boric and I are going to go last on this. So just Luke, start us off.
I give props to the Texans. I did not expect. I didn't expect that, honestly. I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't. You can
The
check the last week,
disrespect is
Borak.
real.
I
No,
did
I
not
heard all the
believe-
disrespect last week.
I did not believe in them. I didn't. That game was very disappointing for the Chargers. Yeah, yeah, Josh.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Josh.
We could talk about that another day. But this game, at Arrowhead, coming off a bye, 8 points seems crazy. I'll take my chances with Patrick Mahomes at home in the playoffs against the Texans at home. So, KC by 3.
All right. Early on, Kansas City by 3. So you taking Houston spread in that game, or are you going money line on your bets, Luke?
Houston plus 8. Yeah.
All right. Houston plus 8. Kansas City money line is Luke on this first game. Chris Connor.
I give credit to the Texans. They were gutsy last week. I give them credit. That being said, this is a whole different beast. I'm sorry. You were able to stop the Chargers because all they had was Lad McConkey. Now you come up with Mahomes, who Hollywood Brown is healthy. You have Xavier Worthy, who is the adopted, I guess, son of Ernest Silva here. You have
Here we go.
you have Hopkins, you got Kelsey. I'm sorry, it's the greatest quarterback right now in the world is Patrick Mahomes. He's regular. Once again, it's going to be a rollover, I think, for the Chiefs. They're going to win away during like the third, fourth quarter. I take the Kansas City by 8.
Kansas City spread on this game. I am going to do what I'm going to be cheering for and wearing my jersey for, and I'm going to take Houston money line on this game purely because of my heart and nothing to do logically for this game. I think Kansas City wins this game. I think the reps will be geared towards a Kansas City dynasty run. They've had reps in a lot of games, a lot of close games this year, and close game wins help a team. Now, Houston, on the other hand, has Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's a pulse. Joe Mixon is a vibe, and I do like the way the Texans played all around. The passion was there. You could see just how locked in that defense was from the get-go. Playing at Arrowhead is a very difficult task. Houston does not match up well with the Kansas City Chiefs in this game, but you've got to hope that they do enough defensively to keep them in it. You've got to hope that the offense starts hot. So I'm going to take Houston money line in this game, a Fairbairn game winner. Houston on the road with a shocker to get to the AFC Championship. Borak.
Yeah, last week was pretty predictable. Justin Herbert he struggles against pressure, and that's what the Texans strive in is their defensive line. Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson. I think Will Anderson has introduced himself to everybody by now. But yeah, they make their defense is Super Bowl caliber. But the problem is their offensive line is trash. And this is a horrible matchup, especially in the interior of the offensive line. Chris Jones is going to be a game wrecker. He's going to cause a lot of problems, and he's going to be in the backfield all day. I think the Chiefs will be rusty. I think they'll come out slow. So I think the Texans' best chance is to jump on them early. Their defense is going to have to. They're going to get pressure on Mahomes, but I fear that Mahomes is going to be able to create enough big plays, and they're going to be able to work the middle of the field with Kelsey. I do think that the Chiefs are going to pull away late. I do think this is a different animal going into Arrowhead. You have to have some ungodly, unwavering amount of confidence. The Texans are going to win this game to pick them. So I'm going to take the Chiefs -8, just because it's going to be, if they do pull this off, this is going to be a huge, huge upset.
Yeah. This would be wild. Looking online, money line wise, 87% of bets for the Chiefs. Spread wise, 64% Texans. Everybody thinks it's gonna be a close game. I'm excited for this game. Let's go to the chat. Mark was talking about Devil stuff. Let's see. Texans for me to defeat the Devil Magic team. Mark is.
I would agree with that. It's also hard to beat the Chiefs and the refs at the same time. So you're asking for a lot.
Don't be one of those guys.
Playoffs.
Just don't. You're
no,
it's
been documented all year long. I'm sorry, but it's been documented all year long.
I have to agree. In close games, refs have favored the Chiefs. Josh says that he's saying the Chiefs will win this close game in the Lions. Also, we'll talk Lions in just a moment. Reg is here. Reg says Borak has ungodly confidence in the Texans. That's probably me tonight, Reg. I am the one that's saying Texans money line, so you can bring that energy this way.
Yeah.
And Josh is back. Jameer Gibbs is going to roll over the Commanders. We'll talk about the game in just a minute, Josh. I'll flash your comments back as well. If you have any opinions on the NFL divisional round, comment away. Any questions about our live expo in February, comment also. This game is our game of the week. I will be absolutely watching every second of this game. Very excited to see this matchup, but there are 4 games. Let's go to game number 2, which is Detroit. Detroit 9-point favorites, live spread against the Washington Commanders. For this segment, Chris Connor is going to start us off right. Chris Connor, what's happening in this game?
I don't know, because you know what? Look, I'm picking Detroit. It scares me because Jaden Daniels has made a believer out of me. I mean, you look at that game against Tampa, and yeah, Tampa basically shot itself, but that kid has ice in his veins. He every time there's a big play, every time there's a big drive, he makes it happen. Detroit's defense scares me, and look, you get 2 coaches who love to go for it on 4th down and 2 and 4th and 3. So I'll go with Detroit, but they're not covering.
All right, Detroit money line is the first pick for this game. I like the Jaden Daniels experiment. I've enjoyed watching the Commanders this year. Dan Quinn make it to the second round. The Detroit Lions are a difficult team to beat, especially at home, especially with rest. I think overall, talent-wise, probably one of the deepest teams, if not the deepest team in the playoffs. I'm going to take the Lions to win this game. I do not think it's a blowout, so I'm taking Detroit money line as well. Just Luke.
I'm excited to see Detroit off a bye, get some rest to those guys that have been hurt and been lagging. It's a long season for them. That divisional and that break for them was very crucial for this run for them. I don't see an issue with them in Washington. I think the first half will be close. I think Jaden Daniels' legs will keep him in that first half. But they just don't have anybody to stop Jahmyr Gibbs. And when it really comes down to it, I feel like this could be a Laporta game too. I think they can figure out St. Brown and Jameson, but if you can't figure out Gibbs and Laporta, because you know how Jared Goff loves the tight end, especially in the playoffs, I'm going to go with Detroit in this round. First half cover for Washington, but I think Detroit pulls away handedly after.
Borak, where do you say on this game, champ?
Yeah, I love how everybody's taking the money line. You guys are scared. I'm going to take the Lions. I don't see watching the Commanders last week. The Buccaneers were able to move the ball up and down the field. They just were horrible in the red zone. And that's where Detroit strives because they can run the football and they get David Montgomery back. I just don't know how the Commanders are going to keep the Lions from running up the score. And I do think the Lions are good enough to slow down Jaden Daniels. I agree. He's a baller. And he's played so well this year, but I think this is a big task coming off a bye week, coming off rest at home. Detroit, is going to show up. They are ready to advance in the playoffs and get to a Super Bowl. So I just don't see how the Commanders are going to keep them out of the end zone. And I do think the Lions are going to be able to do enough to slow down Daniels. So I'm going to take the Lions -9.
That's great. Let's go to the chat. Let's see what people are talking about. Josh says that he's going with the Lions to win. In his opinion, he did say Jahmyr Gibbs is going to run all over the Commanders. I don't think they have an answer for that team. I agree. I think Washington, though, will come out a little bit more crisp than the Lions with extra time, but it'll stay close. Reg had some comments in there. Mark is back. Commanders won because of a doink field goal last game. Lions easy win. That's Mark taking the Commanders. No, so Lions easy win there. And then Reg wants to open up the Cowboys head coach conversation on this stream, and says Dan Quinn should have been the Cowboys coach, not McCarthy this year. I don't know if anybody disagrees on this panel. Anybody disagree with that?
Nope.
No, but I don't think Jerry can control Dan Quinn, so not an ideal fit.
Not a good boy, that's for sure.
Yeah, not a puppet.
Not at all. All right. Well, that is going to take us to our Sunday games and the primetime games for the NFL. We start this one off with Mark's Eagles. Let's roll it. Mark, I have to know. I forget why is your team the Eagles? Can you post that and can comment? Because we talk about this and we never talk about the why. Sunday early game, Philadelphia 6-point favorites against the Los Angeles Rams. This is an interesting game. I'm going to start this one off. So let me cue things up here. I said it last week, and I said the Rams were going to win because tragedy wins championships, and one of the Los Angeles teams was going to win last week. And I knew it wasn't going to be the Chargers because we're Houston fans here, right? So that was not going to happen. So it was the Rams. I do not think the Rams are as talented as the Philadelphia Eagles, but I like streaky teams, and I like Matthew Stafford, a Texas product quarterback, on the road against Philadelphia. I think Philly is very strong. I know Detroit's already looking ahead to playing Philadelphia. I've talked to many Detroit people and Detroit fans. They are just all geared in. Just focus on the Rams. The Rams are going to come in. and play hard football. The defense looked great last week. Rams are playing with passion. There's still a lot of havoc in California. I'm going to take the storyline in this game, and I'm going to start us off with heart. I'm going to take the Rams to pull another upset off and get to the NFC Championship against the Lions. And I'll start us off with a hot take. Rams win this one, and I don't know if they ever lose the lead in this game. So I'm taking the Rams. Luke.
To say that game was underwhelming would probably be an understatement. If you're an Eagles fan, I don't care what argument you bring to the table. That game should have been a blowout. You fucked around that entire game. This is not a game for that offense to come out like they did last week. This is not a fuck around, find out first half game with this. It's not. You can't with these Rams. They're healthy at the right time. The offense, all of their offensive players for probably the first time since their Super Bowl run are all completely healthy. That's a dangerous combination. I have the Rams winning this game. I did. After what I saw last week, I have no faith in what Jalen Hurts was doing. I really don't. That I'll give them credit. Their offensive line held them together. But
that makes sense.
It makes sense. Their offensive line's holding them together. But if you come out in that first half like that offense did last week, and the Rams come out in the first half like they did last week, they'll never be close. It won't be close. So I have the Rams in this one.
There you go. You have two upset Rams money line picks to start things off. Chris Connor, are you writing the Rams?
I'm writing the Rams. Look, I think they have the better coach. They're a much tougher team mentally. Something about Philly it gets me, just a little bit concerned. AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts don't get along at all. Sirianni's, a bit of a hothead. I like Philly's defense, and Saquon Barkley, I'm rooting for him, but that Rams team is cooking, and we saw what they did against the Vikings. They not just beat them; they beat the holy hell out of them. So yeah, give me the Rams.
You go 3 money line picks on the Rams. Chris Borak, talk some sense.
Yeah, that's pretty bold. I do think the Rams will cover this game. I don't think the Rams will win this game.
That's fair.
Eagles love to F around and find out because
they do.
They just make, like people have already said, Nick Sirianni makes poor coaching decisions.
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. As you can see.
They make poor decisions, going for 2, going for 4th down, but they don't need to. Just bad coaching. But they're so much more talented than the Rams. It's ridiculous. AJ Brown probably will be reading a new book this week, and it probably will jump to number 1 on the bestseller list. But I do think that the Eagles' offensive line will carry them. I just don't see the Eagles pulling away from the Rams or the ability to blow them out. So, yeah, I like the Rams to cover this game. I do think the Eagles find a way to win this game.
All right. We luckily don't have a BCMG guarantee pick with this game because Chris Borak is going to save us from that Los Angeles Rams money line pick, which you would be definitely calling Steve Reisner for your money back if that did not go right. Philadelphia money line, Los Angeles Rams spread, Borak, +6.
Yeah, I like the Rams to cover this game.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a close game.
I think it's going to be a really great game. Sunday's games are I think all the games are really great. If Washington outplays what they're projected, it could be we could have 4 great games this NFL Sunday or this NFL playoff weekend. Before we go to our last one, get your tacos ready. The final game is sponsored by Taquito Express. Get all you can eat tacos for $10.99 in beautiful Brownsville, Texas, down in the RGV. If you're hanging out down there, go get all you can eat tacos. Mention ITL at the register. You get 10% off your tacos. I don't remember the count, but I know it was massive. Does anybody remember? It was like 148 or something. Was it out there? It was up there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was in the up there. Yeah, it was
You're
over
not.
100
You're not
for
going to
sure.
beat it. You're not going to beat it. It's going to be very tough. You have to go really just empty stomach and watch the game fully. There, you'll finish your tacos when the game is over, guaranteed. Our final game, we have our roll up again. Shout out Mark for the video, and the final game of the week. Let's do it. All right, here we go. The Buffalo Bills host the Baltimore Ravens in the closest spread of the week. This is going to be a really great game. Anytime it's Ratbirds, I let Luke start things off. So Luke, kick it off. Who's winning?
Fuck the Ratbirds. Okay, we'll just start there. If you watch this game between these two teams early in the season, the Bills just got shellacked. It wasn't pretty. So they've had the Ravens on their minds. They knew they weren't going to get the Chiefs this go around until the conference championship. So they knew Baltimore had to be next. I think Baltimore matches up very well against this Buffalo Bills team. Derrick Henry has been a great added addition to this team. Obviously, what he did against the Steelers defense last week is exactly what Baltimore needs in the playoffs. So I to make this a pick'em, I mean it absolutely makes sense. I have been racking my brain on this one because I really don't know. Zay Flowers, I don't think Zay is going to play, and that's a huge loss for them. Kyle Hamilton will be the absolute X factor for that Ravens defense. He's the reason they're number one across the board since probably halfway through the season. That dramatic change in that defense. So I think I'm gonna go with the Bills at home in the cold, taking the under in this game. I just think the Bills are ready for this matchup. They have to be ready. They want the Chiefs. So I think Buffalo gets this one.
Buffalo -1 to start on the final game of the week. This is going to be a doozy. This is going to be a juggernaut fight. Chris Connor.
I'm going Baltimore. I give Josh Allen all the credit in the world. He is elevated himself to be probably the second best quarterback in the league. I mean, he's had a phenomenal season. He's made, wide receivers productive who I didn't think had snowball's chance in hell. They just don't match up well. I mean, Ravens just going to be, they'll keep out on the sidelines, keep running the ball. I don't like the Bills' defense that much. I mean, they can get basically caught for big plays. So, yeah, I think it's going to be, I'll say 24-21 Baltimore.
All right, Baltimore gets a pick there. We are split on this game. And like I said, Borak is going last as the season 6 projected champion. So I'm going to go here. I don't think the documentary of the Chiefs Kingdom Dynasty is going to come out when they go the whole way with the refs' help, unless they play Baltimore in this championship. So I think the storyline is written, and Josh Allen shows off his dominance in this game because it's going to be a juggernaut matchup scenario for the NFL unless Texans play spoiler. Buffalo does not match up well offensively against the Baltimore Ravens. That is a very accurate statement. But when Buffalo plays at home and they play with passion, you have Josh Allen. I will take Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson, and I would take the Buffalo defense at home over the Baltimore defense on an away game in the cold. I'm going to take Buffalo in this game to win it. I do think, it's -1, so you're going to take the spread on any sort of game you're going to go. I would take 2.5. I think they win this game by at least a field goal. I would buy up, I'd buy up. So, yep, that's my take. Buffalo. Borak, wrap us up on this game and tell us where you're going with the final game of the NFL divisional round.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ernest. This is just a gut feeling. I think the Bills are going to win. Being at home, I think these are two evenly matched teams. I don't particularly like the Ravens defense. I get it. They've been better the second half of the season, but the first half of the season, they were atrocious. And they are susceptible to the run. And Josh Allen's going to be all out this game. They're going to use him in every way they can to get to the AFC Championship. It's going to be snowing. I just think that the atmosphere, Bills Mafia, give me Josh Allen to carry them to a victory and find a way to win the game. But I think these teams are very evenly matched. It could go either way.
Yep, there you have it. A few Buffalo picks, one Baltimore pick, and no BCMG guarantee for this week. Guys, it was a pleasure to choose these games with you. We'll do one last take across the room because we know that everybody's thinking it who watches this show. Actually, Borak, because he went last on everything, I'll let you go first on this one. Who's the Dallas Cowboys head coach?
I think Kellen Moore is going to be the Dallas Cowboys head coach. He's a nice puppet. He fits the mold.
Kellen Moore, the puppet, will be there. Jerry Jones, the puppet master. Shout out Matt. Yes. My brother Matt was watching. He said the "Hey brother" comment. I appreciate you, buddy. I can't wait if we have the chance to see you this weekend. Just Luke, who's the Dallas Cowboys head coach?
Are we fucking around, or are we just?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
what's your take?
No one's going to hold you to this, Luke.
Rex Ryan.
I mean, I will find you if you get this wrong.
Rex Ryan.
Rex Ryan. Wow.
Wow. I don't know where you from, but I'll take it.
He is definitely not a puppet.
No. All right, Chris Connor.
You think? Oh fuck. What do you think? Sanders is going to be a puppet for him too. You know what I mean?
I could just see Rex Ryan popping off at Jerry like at any moment. Like I don't know if that would fit.
Yeesh. Chris Connor, lay it on me. Who is it?
I was shamed this year by all of you guys. I felt disrespected. But you know what? We're getting it. We're getting prime time. Ernest, I'm going to write a 4-page letter to Dion. And we started Jerry going, we need Into the Lab podcast Tuesday nights, prime time and baby prime, Ernest Silva. This can be your chance for stardom. Luke, I know, is shaking his head, but you know what, Luke? You'll watch. We'll all watch. It's Dion back.
I'll watch for Ernest.
This is going to be perfect.
I'll watch for Dion.
It's Deion Sanders. He's back. Ernest, you got to love it.
I'll tell you what, if Deion Sanders is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys next year, it means Shedeur is the quarterback. Absolutely, 100%. If that happens, Chris Connor, I will name myself Ernest Primetime Silva the entire year for season 7.
Mark, clip it.
Wow.
I'll do that. If that is what ends up happening. Maybe I'm just tired, but let's just put it like
Mark,
that. Maybe.
clip it.
Now, my crazy outlandish head coach.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Channing Tatum.
Tony Romo, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, gets out of the booth and takes over the mic downstairs. Tony Romo, the new head coach.
Call Tom.
That is the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Tony, he's a good old boy. He's a Jerry puppet. It'll happen. And Jason Witten will be his OC.
Yeah, because Jason Garrett worked out so well, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
We forget there's always Bill Belichick. He hasn't signed the contract. Bill, Jerry, Grumpy Old Ben, part 4. We're doing it.
He's definitely not a puppet.
That's tonight's episode.
Nope.
We appreciate all of you. Good luck to all of your picks. Good luck to all of your teams. And if you're playing any sort of playoff edition and you're degenerate like most of us are, good luck to your teams and lineups this week with playoff football. That is tonight's episode. We're going to wrap up with our outro videos we did in our intro. This is ITL in San Antonio, Texas. Peace out, y'all.
Welcome to an episode of